Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be playing another round of my TBR game. This is upside down. Scrabble picks my TBR. Basically, in case you're new here and you don't know how this game works, every month I spell 5 words in a game of Scrabble, and those 5 words act as my reading prompts for the month. I must successfully complete the prompt to collect the points for that word, and when I reach 150 points, I get to clear the board and start fresh. If you have been here before and you've seen my TBR games, first of all, thank you. Secondly, please do give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment if you are so inclined. It really does help my channel a lot. And of course, subscribe if you want to see my TBR game again next time. This is going to be my January TBR today, so we are doing the first TBR for 2024. Before we dive into the new prompts, let's talk about how I did on my December TBR. So out of the 5 books from my December TBR, I finished 3 and I'm still reading 2 of them. So I'm still reading The Family Game by Catherine Steadman, but I think I'm going to finish this. I still have 2 nights left before the end of the month as of the moment I'm filming this, and I think I will get it done. You know, it's a thriller. I read thrillers pretty quickly, so I think I will be finished this. I'm also still reading The Golden Age of Murder, The Mystery of the Writers Who Invented the Modern Detective Story. This is a nonfiction book by Martin Edwards. I have read over 100 pages. I'm on page 148 as of this moment, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time to finish this before the end of December and the end of the year, so I will be carrying this over into January. I will not be giving myself points for this one, but I will be giving myself points for The Family Game, and that means I'm starting off January with 43 points. I don't think there's anything I need to fit on the TBR for January, so really I'm just gonna see, what the prompts are and what I feel, inspired to pick. Let's just get right to it and go to prompt number 1. So, welcome back. These are the prompts I had on the board last time we played. I ended last round with an N, an X, and a U. I also still have all of my special tiles in play, so I will start by drawing 4 new letters, and then we'll spell the first prompt. H, Q, L, T. I'm going to spell haul and read a book that I hauled recently. So this has double letter here and triple word score. So, ooh, I got a math. Okay. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11 times 3 is 33. All right, good start. Okay, a book that I have hauled recently. It's been a while since I filmed a haul video, though there have been books that have come into my life recently. That sounds weird, but what I'm going to choose for this prompt is The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. I picked this up in my Little Free Libraries vlog. I will link that in the card if you haven't seen it yet and you want to go watch it. This is a thriller, and I have never read Megan Miranda before. I know she is pretty popular on booktube. I see her books talked about a lot. So since this was available in the Little Free Library and it was free, I thought, hey, why don't I check out my first ever Megan Miranda book? I love the cover also. It is so vibrant with these beautiful colors. I have not looked up this book on Goodreads, and that was an intentional choice because if it has a dismal Goodreads rating, I don't want to be dissuaded. I just want to read it and see what I think without any outside opinions. I don't exactly know what this book is about, but based on the description, it seems to be about survivors of a tragedy who get back together many years later at a beach house in, I think, North Carolina. And yes, it says the Outer Banks, so North Carolina. And then one of the group either dies or goes missing. So it might be a, you know, killing them off one by one situation, which is a trope that I like. I like these, you know, isolated settings with these groups who are being picked off. I love that in a murder mystery. I mean, obviously, And Then There Were None is one of my favorite books. So I don't exactly know what this is about. I have no idea if it's any good, but since I got it from the little free library, I wanted to give it a try, and January will hopefully be a good time for that. That is going to be my first TBR pick for 2024. L. Upside down, sorry. V. And J. So I think I'm going to use, let me move that out of the way, use one of my special tiles to switch because I have some hard letters here, and also I do not have a single vowel. So I would like to, you know, have a couple more vowel options for the future. So I'm going to cash in that, and I will pull off the J, definitely the Q, and I'll probably do the X and the V too, because why not? And then I'll keep NTL. Okay, so that means I get to pick 4 more. O. K. O. I. And then I will put these back in here. Okay. I am going to spell the word talk. And I'm sort of using this prompt sort of like a hyped book, like a book that I've seen a lot of people talking about on booktube or bookstagram or whatever, you follow me? So this had the triple letter here, which means that's 3 plus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, Talk, a book that a lot of people are talking about. 2 caveats for this. One, I think these, well, okay, one, I'm kind of cheating because I'm going to mention 2 books. There is one that I would really like to read, but I'm not sure if I will be able to get my hands on a copy before the end of January because there's currently a wait at the library. So I am picking a second book to use as my backup if I can't get my hands on the first. So that's caveat number 1. Caveat number 2, I think these are books that people were talking a lot about, like when they first came out. I saw a lot of hype, I saw a lot of reviews. I don't know if I would say they're ones that people are still talking about, but they're both books that I would like to read and that were definitely hyped recently. I don't know if people are still talking about them a lot. So those are my caveats. But first, the book that I would really like to read, if I can, is Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian or Gillian, I'm not sure how she pronounces her name, McAllister. And this is a book that I heard such good things about. This book follows a woman who, I believe she looks out her window one night and she witnesses her teenage son kill somebody. She doesn't know who this person that he's killed is or why. and she's desperate to save her son from prison. What ends up happening is every time she goes to sleep, she wakes up one day in the past. So she is given these chances to go further and further back in time to figure out what is happening and potentially save her son. I've heard that this book is really amazing, kind of surprisingly emotional. So I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I would love to read this one finally. Unfortunately, there is a wait list. I put myself on the wait list, and we'll see. I might not be able to get this by the end of January. So if I can't get my hands on Wrong Place, Wrong Time, then what I'm going to read for this prompt is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This is a book that honestly I wasn't all that interested in at first, but I saw so many people raving about it that I sort of felt peer pressured, and I was like, okay, I definitely need to check this book out now because I have FOMO. I'm not really sure what this book's about. I know it follows a character named Ernest Cunningham, I said that weird. And like the title suggests, everyone in his family has killed someone. So the book recounts the murders that all of his family members have committed. I believe, based on people's reviews, it's also told in a bit of an unconventional format. Like, I think it tells you the page numbers or the chapter numbers where all of the murders happen, so you could just like skip ahead to read about the murders. So I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and the library says it has a copy available, so I may check this out if it doesn't work out with Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I don't know a lot about this book, but I'm kind of intrigued just because I saw so much buzz surrounding it. F. A. Upside down, but it's an S. Okay. This will have a double word font. So I, like many writers, love fonts. There are some that I can recognize on sight. So this prompt has been on my list of ideas for a while, and I'm going to pick a book where the cover is in a font that I think is pretty. Or I guess I could also do it like opening the book and looking at the font that's used throughout the text. And if it's a font that I like, pick that, you know? So I'm gonna take a look at my shelf and see what books I think have pretty fonts on the cover or on the inside. There's even some books, and I can't think of an example off the top of my head, well, they'll have a little history of the typeface in the book. So maybe I could even see if I have one of those. But anyways, this just has the double word. So it'll be 4, 5, 6, 7 times 2, 14. All right, a book with a nice font either throughout the book or on the cover. I love fonts. What writer doesn't love fonts? And I took a good look at my shelves, and ultimately what I decided to pick is The Key in the Lock by Beth Underdown. First of all, I really like this font here on the spine. I think that's really pretty. And I also find the font very interesting because obviously it's called The Key in the Lock, and the font they used kind of, it looks like, you know, keys and locks. So I think that's pretty neat. And I think that qualifies for this prompt. Like, I just find the text very interesting looking. This is a historical fiction book, I think with like elements of Gothic mystery. And I purchased this because I heard Katie from Books and Things rave about this book. So this book, it takes place after the Great War, aka World War I. And our main character, Ivy, is filled with grief because her son died in the war. She wants to find out what happened to her son out in the trenches, though her husband wants to forget about their loss. A man comes back into Ivy's life who can help her find out the truth. A man who once stole Ivy's heart. A man who also lost his son to a tragedy. A man whose name she hasn't spoken in 30 years. I haven't heard many reviews for this book, and I don't think it has that many reviews on Goodreads, but I picked this up because Katie from Books and Things loved this so much. I love Katie's channel, so the book sounded interesting based on her review of it. I also bought this copy in London, and I think it is just very pretty. Like, I love the little gold elements. It is beautiful, and I will be reading this month. N. P. Sorry, I had to move positions. My foot was falling asleep. And T. That's 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Pink. I might have spelled this before, I don't know, but pretty self-explanatory. Pink is my favorite color. I'm going to find a book that has pink somewhere on the cover. And there was, what, a double letter? Okay. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, for the prompt pink, I have decided that I'm going to read The Last Party by Claire McIntosh. This book is set at a New Year's Eve party where a wealthy man is murdered. And I didn't realize that this was a New Year's party until I was looking on my Goodreads TBR trying to find some books with pink on the cover. And when I saw that this takes place around New Year's, I just knew I had to pick it for my January TBR. It seems perfect. Claire McIntosh is an author I have read multiple times before. I gave her book, I Let You Go, 4 stars, but all the other books that I've read from her have been 3-star books. Good, but not great. So this may or may not be my last chance for her, depending on my thoughts, you know? Just because she hasn't really knocked my socks off yet. So hopefully this will be an entertaining read. It is also the first in a series following a detective main character. So we'll see, but it's got a very nice pink cover, and I just knew I had to pick it because it takes place around this time of year. So seems like a perfect choice. T. C. And E. Listen, I am kind of scared of this prompt, but I know it's for my own good. And I should force myself to do this. Okay. Cloth. I'm gonna force myself to read one of my Penguin cloth-bound classics. Cause like, listen, I want to read these books. They're beautiful, and I want to read more classics again. It's just, it's hard to find the initiative to pick up a classic because they are intimidating. And some of them are very long. But I need to do this. I'll thank myself later. Hopefully. So, there was just the triple letter here. Get back in there. Okay, so that's 7, because that's times 3. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. All right. Hopefully, this will be good for me. All right. I am doing this for my own good. And I'm hopeful that I will thank myself for this decision later. But I am apprehensive. I'm kind of scared. I am going to read one of my Penguin cloth-bound classics. Now, I think I have 4 Penguin cloth-bound classics that I haven't read yet. Middlemarch by George Eliot, which also would have worked with the pink prompt. Villette by Charlotte Bronte. And Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. However, the one that I am putting on this TBR is not those 3. It is the 4th. And that is, oh God, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This book is over 1,000 pages. Like, this book could be a doorstop. Honestly, if you hit somebody over the head with it hard enough, you could probably kill them. It's over 1,000 pages. I think it might be the longest book on my entire TBR. However, I have been saying for probably at least 2 years that I really want to read this book. I have high hopes for it. I've heard excellent things. And I've continually put off reading it because of how big it is. So, I'm going to start off this new year by forcing myself to do something that's scary. Reading The Count of Monte Cristo. And you know what? It's fine. Listen, I doubt that I'm going to read this entire thing in the month of January. But as long as I can start it, that will feel like an achievement to me. I'm going to stop putting this book off. I'm going to give it an attempt. And I'm going to do things that are scary. You know, I am going to stop making excuses. I'm going to read this book. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm going to read this book, and hopefully I'm going to love it, and it's going to be one of my new favorite classics of all time. This book is a revenge story, the OG revenge story, really, and I love stories that involve someone creating an elaborate revenge plot to get back at the people who ruined their life. When I was in high school, I loved the ABC primetime soap opera Revenge. Guilty pleasure amazing show, which was pitched as a modern day version of The Count of Monte Cristo set in the Hamptons with a female main character. So I should like this. It basically invented this trope that I love. It was the inspiration for one of my favorite TV shows in high school, which I'm not ashamed to admit I loved. So this needs to happen. This book follows a character named Edmond Dantes, and he is framed for being a Bonapartist traitor. Many years later, he comes back to France under the pseudonym The Count of Monte Cristo to get revenge against the people who were responsible for his false imprisonment. I've heard amazing things about this book. I've seen so many 5-star reviews, and I've been putting it off for years. Finally, I'm gonna start reading this book, and hopefully I'm gonna love it. Hopefully, this will be one of the best decisions I've made in regards to my reading, but I'm still kind of frightened. It's not too late to delete this footage and turn back. No, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it, all right? This is happening. You heard it here first. So, I think that is it for my January TBR. Please send me your well wishes. I am very intimidated, but hopefully it's gonna be good. And even though I am starting a 1,000-page book, I do have some quicker mystery thriller reads to go along with it. So hopefully it'll all be good. We'll see, but wish me well in the comment section, and if you've read any of the books I mentioned in this video, do let me know in the comments. I would like to hear what you thought about them. My social media links are in the description if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. It really does help my channel more than I could possibly say. Thank you so much for watching this video today, you guys, and I hope you have an exquisite rest of your day. Goodbye and Happy New Year.